Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I have one more video to give you guys, and it is pretty much my life after ending. I can start with when the military ended. I'll go a little bit back because my marriage is in that, but I ended the last video. I got a divorce. Of course, I'm not going to speak much on that because we're peacefully co-parenting, so I'm not going to stir up any mess with that. So just know that we finally agreed to go our separate ways and we're good. Now I did this video, I gotta get ready because we're going out for New Year's, and I just had to get this video in because once the New Year starts, will no longer be doing videos on my life. I'm leaving that all behind in 2024. That was the reason I started like I did. So let's get into it. So basically, my divorce started, or my divorce ended. I'm gonna put it that way. My divorce ended. I think it was April. It kept getting pushed back. It's supposed to be January, but I think we finally made it to court April of 2024, and we went ahead and agreed, and we co-parented and did it. It kind of went the way I wanted because I agreed to just get my kids over the summer because I can make more memories with them than them being in school. So I kind of just gave in, I guess, and let him have them over the summer. But right now we pretty much agree, like, as long as they're not in school, they come here. If they want to go home, they go home. Like, we let them pretty much do what they want because they're old enough to say, hey, I want to go home with my dad, or I want to be at my mom's house. As long as school is not interfering with that, they can do whichever one they wish. So now I pretty much realized, hey, God made one. He took one. He took my mom away. And now I'm evolving into this woman, more spiritual and I think more mature. Like, I look at situations around me and I'm like, I was forced to grow up and I've endured a lot. Like, sorry, I'm supposed to be getting dressed. I endured a lot in my life. Like, my kids came early, and these were all my decisions, but my kids came early and I had to be a mom. Like, I stepped up. I didn't shy away from it or anything like that. I literally put my big girl panties on, so to say, and I took care of my kids. Like, that was my responsibility. So I moved forward, and what happened? Sorry guys, I'm really like rushing. You can tell my thought process is off. So I'm gonna kind of go back into me leaving Washington. So in Washington, we decided we're gonna get a divorce, and things weren't going very well. We were actually fighting a lot at first. Like, it was terrible. Like, I was sleeping on the couch. Like, I was over it. I was just waiting basically for my daughter Jasmine to graduate because we were living in Washington State, but I knew the cost of living in Washington was way too high for me to stay there by myself and, give my kids the type of life that they are accustomed to. So I waited till Jasmine graduated. She graduated in June. And we hit the road. Like, we came here to Texas. And guys, I had a business in Washington. I had created a cleaning business. And in my cleaning business, I had good clientele. I was bringing in about $100,000 a year. So as you can imagine, it was pretty hard for me to, and I had only been working in it for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. So it grew quick. So me leaving that was good money. But in Washington, if you know anything about Washington State, 100,000 isn't going to get you much, especially if you're by yourself. And that's before taxes. I still had to get my taxes out of that. So I was like, I can't survive off of just this. And my schedule was full. I could have hired people. Plus, just to be real, I wanted to be closer to family. People were getting older, my aunt and stuff. So I lost the aunt while I was up there. in Washington. My dad passed away while I was in Washington. So it was just a lot. Like, I was missing being so far away with so many children. Like, if we come home, it's thousands of dollars to fly back. So I was like, I need to move closer home. And I knew I wouldn't want to spend the rest of my life in Washington. So we came here, and I just had to thug it out, like, for real. But this is where Sharon stepped in. Oh my God, I said her name. This is where Jasmine's godmom, she came back in and she gave me finances to put down for a deposit for an apartment because I needed my own place. Due to the divorce, not to go into many details, they were demanding that they, meaning the children's father, was demanding that I had certain things. And mind you, we were still in and out of court. So for me to go to court and say I don't have my own place to live, that would probably make me lose my children. So I was like, I can't go live with family because I had the option. I had a cousin here that had plenty of space for us. He has a big house, not very many kids at all. So I could have moved there, but it wasn't, it was just going to cause problems in the long run. So I was like, I need to help him get me a place. So I prematurely moved into a place just so I could have a place. Guys, this was a 2-bedroom apartment. Mind you, I have 5 kids all together. My Jasmine, my second child, she's actually in Oklahoma. She's done really well for herself. Jaden was living with her grandmother, but I knew she might need to come back because she has a baby. So I do have a grandbaby. And so pretty much I have 4 kids, 2-bedroom apartment. Yeah. So I did that for a year. And so I didn't tell you this part. So back up. So I have a guy. I know, right? And I had met him at a job. So during my cleaning business, I was cleaning at Airbnbs. That was my business, was Airbnb cleaning. And in the wintertime, people don't travel as much, especially into Seattle. So my pay cut down a little bit. So I was like, to compensate what I'm, missing, I'm just gonna get a little nighttime job. And then in the meantime, I can do my Airbnbs, after I get off, go do that and then go home and go to sleep or whatever. Well, I wound up meeting someone. And I don't know if I even got permission to mention his name. It's crazy. But so I'm just gonna say that's someone. And I remember when I was getting my divorce, I was like, I don't want to be with anybody. I'm over it. I just want to be by myself. I know what I can bring to the table by myself. I don't want to have to fight that battle with anyone. I don't want to waste 12 years and energy. And, I put into that house. I left everything when I got my divorce. I took Jahara, my child that's not ours together. I took her bedroom set and then Jasmine's. So that's all for the most part. I left everything else. I was like, I need peace in my life. I will leave it. That you can have it. I'm not gonna even fight over it. It's not that serious. God will replace it. So fast forward, what wound up happening is I'm working at Amazon. I'm like, I don't want to meet anybody, but I know I'm not an ugly person. I look younger than what I am. I know what I bring to the table. I know I'm a hard worker. I'm like, I don't want to meet anyone. I know these guys are going to be trying to talk to me. So I'm just going to be in here with my head down. Like, work, go home. Tried it so hard. I ran from my significant person. I ran and he was not giving up. Like, he would try to figure out where I was going for break because I would shoot out that door because I knew he was trying to talk to me. And I didn't want to entertain it. Like, I really was ready to just be single. Like, I had envisioned my white bedroom set, just me, my safe haven. Like, I had it all the thinking, y'all. Well, he wore me down and we got to talking, and I'm kind of glad we did because, like I said, I was still in the midst of my divorce, but a lot transpired that I won't get into. That if I didn't have this person, I would have cracked. I really believe I would have. Like, I was put through a lot. I'm just to put it out there, like, there was a report done. Try not to start no stuff, y'all. let's just say an incident transpired at the home and they decided to call the police and say that they're scared of me, put it that way. When in all reality it was an argument. No hands were thrown, none of that. So, but because he made the report, the Spanaway police, because we live in Spanaway, not Seattle, but they were like, you have to go for 12 days or 14 days to until your court hearing. Now, just to let you know, this person never showed up to the court hearing because there was nothing for him to even say. I was ready, like, Your Honor, there's nothing. Like, he really, anywho, let me not go there. But if I was on the streets, like I had to leave my kids. Like it was a really low point in my life. And I was just literally waiting to leave Washington. At this point, I already knew the divorce was going forward. I was over it. Like I'm on the couch. Like I'm okay. You know, I was only reason I was really sleeping there is to make sure my kids were still getting taken care of because like I said, I had a cleaning business, so I was an intricate part of their lives. Like I was picking them up, dropping them off, doing this, doing that. That was me. So I would still come and see my kids and all of that, make sure they ate and all of that. But there's one more this person, never mind. So, anyways, I actually had a childhood friend's mom. You know who you are if you're watching this. Her and her husband, I thank you guys still to this day. They looked out for me and they got me a hotel for 2 weeks. Yeah, it was a blessing. Because I don't know, I would have been on the streets. The first night I slept in my car, and it was so sad. My son asked me because let's just say my son checked on me after I was gone. When he came back, the police had came and told me I had to go. They weren't there when the police came. But apparently something was said to them to where my son asked me as soon as he got back to the house, Mom, where are you? And I said, I'm okay. I'm at a hotel, even though I was in my car. I wasn't going to have my kids worrying like where I was that night. Luckily, I cleaned Airbnbs. So the second night, before I could figure out what I was going to do, I was able to go stay at one of those that I cleaned. I just cleaned it and then laid there that night and took a nap before I got up for the next day. But this significant person that I'm talking about, they were there for me every step of the way. When they found out what was going on, they were actually not even in Washington. They were visiting family where they're from. And they were about to come back from their trip early just to make sure I had something because it was rough. But so long story short, this person chased me around Amazon, guys, probably for a good 2-3 weeks, and then I agreed to hang out. We went and have because we worked the night shift. We decided to go have breakfast one day, and we talked, and I realized they were really genuine. Like a lot of my relationships, people, you know how people can talk to you on the surface level, but they don't really go in. I could tell this person had really worked on themselves. Like they weren't, I don't know what I want to say. They weren't, you could tell they had lived life and they know what they want, right? So we talked, they would help me clean. Like we really grew a friendship. And that's why I can honestly say, this person is my friend. Like we built a friendship. He's seen me in my lows. He's seen me in my highs. Like he saw me when I was bringing in that $1,000 or that 100,000 a year. He saw like how I was out there grinding and really making it happen. And I saw him. I saw it in him. I saw his fight and what he wanted. So ironically, one night we were talking at work and he was like, I think it was before I even decided to talk to him, when he was still trying to fill me out. He was like, what are you doing or something? I said, oh, I'm moving, because I was still trying to blow him off, right? And I already knew I was moving to Texas. I knew I was not going to be in Washington much longer. I was just waiting, like I said, for Jasmine to graduate. And he was like, oh, that's funny. I'm moving too. And my crazy self was like, whatever. Like, these dudes will try it. And lo and behold, no lie, guys, he has a cousin here, same area I was coming. And he was planning on moving to the same part of Texas I was. And I'm like, shut up. So I think they were going to move earlier. But when we started talking and getting close, he extended his time in Washington. And then we wound up coming here to Texas together. So now fast forward back to a two-bedroom apartment. So now it's me and him, my children. I think me and him have been together about 7 or 8 months we have been talking. So it wasn't really new, and it was fast. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is moving so fast. I'm a little nervous. I think we both were nervous. But in the midst of all that, like, we really talked. Like, it's like we had all the conversations people probably have over a couple of years time span. Yeah, we had that in probably a couple of weeks because we spent a lot. Like, if we weren't working, and then we worked together at night. So we was just always discussing stuff, and we made it intentional to, like, what do you want? And we told each other, if you're here for that nonsense, I'm not here for it. I'm not going to be fighting with you. I'm not going to be arguing with you. I'm not going to, I'm just not doing it. So if you're here for that, then we might go our separate ways now. Like, we really both, because they came from a crazy relationship too. So we were like, why would we even get into anything? And sure enough, here we are on 2 years now. We just celebrated 2 years in November, and we don't argue. I think we've had like 2 disagreements, but this person is like my best friend. If I have a problem, I feel comfortable bringing it to them. Like, hey, this, and this. They'll think about it, come talk to me about it. I'm not disrespectful to him. Like, if and I think it's because he's so nice. It's like, I have to be this way towards you because you're never going to be that way towards me. Like, he makes me be a better person. Because I do feel like sometimes I want to be on the defense, like, because of the relationships I've had. But this person is completely different. When we moved in together, he was like, hey, here's my paycheck. Do what you got to do with it. I knew it wasn't what I went through with my first children's father. Like, he's all in to help. Like, I'm the one with the 4 kids. He has 2 children, one of them grown, and the other one is still a minor also. And so it's like, I'm bringing all the quote unquote baggage. So for him to still be like, hey, here you go, do what you got to do. And we talk about everything. So people might look, and I know I have some family that was like, how's she with this dude? Like, there is so much history, and I really believe God placed this in my life to where he said, here, because I didn't want it. Like, I was like, no, I don't want no relationships. I am a grandma. I can do this. I don't need nobody else. I am content with being a grandma with my white bedroom, my all white sheets, all white this. Ain't ever about no man messing it up. I can have my house how I want it. Don't have to worry about cleaning up after anyone, the Marshall Mathers drawers. Like, I was content, and I was even so content. I told my kids, guys, never think that I'm lonely. Like, just because I'm by myself, I'm okay. I'm in Aquarius. We know how to be by ourselves. And I was so legit, like, set on it. So for this guy to just pop up and be so persistent, I was like, oh, this is a trap of the devil. I don't want this. But now it's just like freestyling. Like, I can't even really explain it. But when you, like, the other day, we were sitting on the couch watching, I think we was watching Hell's Kitchen or something like that. And he was looking at me. He always does. I'm like, you're so weird. What are you staring at? And a lot of times it's, oh, you're beautiful. The other day, he's like, you have 30 something. I can't remember the exact number, like 34 freckles on your face. Who counts that, sir? For real? I said, you just make stuff up. But he's just so loving and caring. The opposite of any man I've ever dated. Like, I don't have to worry about anything that he does. Like, if he's somewhere, it's just so different. And I thank God, like, if this is my second chance at love, I thank Him for it. Here we are, we were in a 2-bedroom apartment. We did that for a year. We manifested stuff. That's why I really feel like this is founded by God. We have manifested so much. Like, I got in a car wreck when I first got here, totaled a car. Another car, the timing belt went out on. We had no vehicle. I was thugging it out, doing Uber. All of a sudden, we was like, let's just go get a car. And mind you, we were living paycheck to paycheck. And we did that. We went and got a car big enough for all the kids. And then he got a job offer. I said, well, maybe I can work there too. Anyways, I did it. We doubled our income together. Before you knew it, we're in a bigger house. Now we have a 4-bedroom house. Everything that was taken from me or I left in Washington, no joke, guys, within a year and a half in Texas, I have it back plus some. And that's nobody but God. At first, it looked like it was not going to happen. But now we are here in a 4-bedroom house, 2.5 bathrooms. And if I'm being truthfully honest, I really think it's a little bit bigger than the house I was in Washington. So I know my God listens. And me and him say all the time, we will speak stuff out into the atmosphere and it will come to pass. So lately we've been saying we need to be mindful of that. That could go both ways, negative and positive. So we try to speak positive for the most part. But that's the type of stuff I love about him. Like, we can talk deep. Like, hey, did you notice this? Or did you notice that? Like, this New Year's, we're leaving all this baggage. We're not discussing this type of stuff anymore. Like, we're talking about now we want to get a house built because we know the sky is the limit. So I just wanted to come back and say, and all that trials and tribulations that I went through as a child and losing out and this, and this. Oh, and last thing I want to say, and we met with the financial advisor. And I'll get with you guys later on another episode or another YouTube channel. I'm going to try to get her on with me so she can kind of explain some things. But all the money that I wasted 12 years being with my ex-husband, all the things, all the money that I had wasted, and just her telling us, hey, if you just put $25 back in this trust fund and you just let it grow, or if you just put this much back and this is how much you can gain over 3 to 5 years. Why didn't we know this before? And so for me and my partner now to be on the same page, like, hey, we're going to put this back. We're making all our kids, all of them, if you knew, now they're going to know, but we weren't going to tell them, but we're put this money in here and let it sit. If they call us, we can get it at any moment. So if they call us, my daughter with the baby, mom, my car broke down. All right, I'm going to have it. I'm going to go to her account. I can pull that out here, then keep putting money in there. That's how I'm going to protect my children. Because I lost my mom at an early age, I know how important it is to have life insurance. And I expressed that to him. We both have a life insurance policy on each other because we know right now we depend on each other for what we're doing. So if something happens to me, I don't want him to struggle. So, hey, here's this, get you back on your feet. God forbid we get taken out of here anytime soon. And the same thing with him. And if I get something, I'll make sure if his kid is taken care of, both of them, if the other one needs it, but he doesn't call us for anything. And then also, vice versa. If my kids need something, hopefully you know me, I'm gonna have something set up anyways for them too, but I know he'll look out for my children. So I think it's awesome how God expedited. I had 12 years worth of marriage and I didn't even grow this much. For someone that I've been with we just did 2 years, and I feel like I've exceeded the growth, the maturity of our relationship that I had 12 years ago. Not to bash that person, I really feel like we have to do better at choosing who God really intends for us. Because for this person to have just came to Washington and they were only there for maybe 5 months, I took this job just because I needed some extra dough. And the job, I could have worked closer to home, but I drove 45 minutes every night to meet this person that I wasn't even looking for, I was running from. We both happened to be getting ready to move to Texas because Washington's just not it. To be able to build a life the way that we did is really a blessing. And I'm happy. So with that being said, this is the end of my story. I'm going to be still coming on to YouTube, talking about certain topics. Like I said, the finance lady, I'm going to bring her on so she can explain to everyone like what she explained to me and how much we, especially in the Black community, because we don't teach each other this, like how much we could be putting money away and building generational wealth where our children don't have to suffer, where you don't have to rely on an insurance policy to take care of your children. You could have this money sitting there building. So I'll be doing things like that. I'll also be coming on to just talk about little topics that I know women need to hear, like holding on too long, stuff like that. So hopefully you guys are tuned into my YouTube channel. I kind of did this to try to get some traction to my YouTube channel, and get subscribers and things like that. But I also wanted to get my story out. It was very therapeutic. There was tears. Even if you guys didn't see them on camera, some videos took me a couple times to record. So I feel relieved. And that's really what I wanted. And now we're going into 2025. And all I can tell you guys is Happy New Year. Thank you for tuning in. Again, please shoot over to my YouTube channel and like, comment, and subscribe. I need more subscribers, guys. And stay tuned. I'll be on this thing this year and maybe hopefully moving forward. Love you guys. Peace out.